Redditors, how has your high school crush turned out? She's working on her PhD. She's a scientist. She studies bees. Oh man, she sounds like a keeper. I hope her current honey knows it. It would sting to lose someone as pure as her. Ah, puns. What else would I expect from the Reddit hive mind? We always make a beeline for the easiest jokes. The last time this was posted, I realized I hadn't seen her on any form of social media ever, so I did some digging. I found out that she's living in a huge suburban house by herself that's owned by a descendant of an old mob boss, so my guess is that she's a Mayfair mistress living the high life. My hometown actually had quite a number of single women living alone in houses like this, and it was almost always some sort of arrangement like this. Had a crush for a year, then graduated, and she did meth, which was an instant vibe killer. Yeah, I heard meth kinda ruins the mood. It's just science, bitch. Let's cook. The rest, no idea. We dated for a while, but it wasn't working, so we broke up. Then I set her up with a friend of mine, and they got married right out of high school, while I took off to college. He got a trade job, and they had 3 kids. Couldn't be happier for them. Best wingman ever. She a lesbian and now she bangin' my ex from college, and I think I'll just have another bowl of ice cream now. Which flavor? Yes. He died in the last Star Wars movie. She's a fairly successful environmental biologist now. Married. I wish her the best. We tried dating but weren't compatible. She ignored me for a decade, then we saw each other at a concert, and she made out with me, apparently to make her current BF jealous. I moved away. She randomly messages me another year later to say she always had a crush on me and that she wanted to see me, and then killed herself a month later. Well, that was a roller coaster. He became a moderately successful filmmaker and moved to a big city. I always felt some kinda nostalgia towards him, like he was the one that got away, or some shit like that. Out of the blue he contacted me when he was back visiting family in our small, seaside town a couple of years back. We ended up getting super high on the moonlit beach, reminiscing about school day shenanigans, and that one time we played tonsil tennis on the geography field trip in year 9. Long story short, we ended up hooking up on the beach. During the act, as we were trying to navigate the sand in my paranoia that we were about to be caught, he whispered in my ear, "Remember this moment when you're back to your humdrum existence." Never pulled my tights up so fast in my life. Needless to say, this encounter somewhat demystified the 20-year sliding doors sentiments I'd felt for him. Turns out he turned out to be a bit of a twat. What a dick. Husband and we have 2 kids. That's beautiful. Reading a book in the living room, aging like fine wine, going on 20 years. Not gonna lie, I thought you meant you have been stalking her for the past 20 years, and I'm like, that's dedication, my friend. Dated for a while, she cheated on me, no more crush lol. She is my wife and the mother of our 2 children. Congrats, D. She's dating a grader loser who wastes all his time on Reddit posting about duck dicks and Shrek and stuff. Can we talk about the fact that you have your account for less than 100 days and have more than 100,000 karma? Question mark. Lesbian. Are you maybe also a lesbian and this is great? I wish. He died in a car accident. He never knew he was my crush. He was my best friend. I'm sorry. I looked up her name a couple years ago. It took me to a website for someone's wedding. There were pictures, but years had passed, so I couldn't be sure it was her. It did kind of resemble her, and it was the same first name. I hope it worked out. I had a lot of high school crushes. He liked me back, and we've been dating for several years now. Based on the stats, the one you're dating will probably be gay too. Plays for a well-known national rugby team. Good on him. She has turned out to be an even better person than I ever could have imagined. She is still single too, which I don't understand. Ask her out, bro. Dead. He crashed into an 18-wheeler a year after graduation. The other one is a vet tech. She's apparently engaged now, so good for her. One is an airline pilot, one an office manager for an industrial supply company. Married 26 years. Have an 11-year boy. So turned out great.